So for this episode of Let's Talk Jinx, we're going to be talking about why pro players at Worlds should be playing Jinx. Because right now, if you've been watching Worlds, Jinx has been played twice, and we're going to talk about that specifically too. But one of the things I want to talk about is why the pro players are playing Miss Fortune against so much engage, right? Because Miss Fortune isn't necessarily immobile, right? She has strut, I know. It's literally a move speed ability. But the point of picking Miss Fortune in a lot of these are wombo combos. You have an Amumu or something, go in, stun everybody. While everyone's stunned, Miss Fortune ults, and that's a big part of the combo. But when you keep going against things that could just dive or interrupt Miss Fortune's ultimate, suddenly it's like, why are you playing Miss Fortune? Especially with things like Sejuani and Trundle, and really all these things that could either soft CC, maybe even hard CC, or just interrupt the ult's channel, being things that are very pickable right now in the meta. Which is why I kind of tend to have a problem with it. I made a tweet about it. I'm not going to put it up because it's not that important. But I'm just saying, like, so many people are playing Miss Fortune because of that whole combo, how nice it is. And they're not even melting the front line because the enemy team will have like multiple tanks or something like that. And then you're not even the best DPS AD carry to, if you're not going to use your ultimate, try and out damage people that way. Enter Jinx, who is in fact immobile as well, so against a lot of these engaged stuff, she also would be at risk. The flame choppers are really not going to save you, but at least if you're going to pick something that is slow, and Tristana is also banned all the time, it's part of the reason I wish I could say I'm not being biased, and I am not being biased, but the reason I'm also going towards Jinx, Caitlyn and Tristana also kind of fill the same spot as Jinx does, but they're banned so often that I don't think you'll get them. Jinx is not banned is why I'm making this video. Jinx is usually open, and as we saw in one particular game after I made that tweet, a pro team, EDG, picked Jinx, Viper went deathless, and they won the game. Because even though Jinx doesn't have the wombo combo, and Jinx is a bit immobile against some of these things, she does have the DPS and crit damage to kill these things, even if they're tanky, because she's a tank killing AD carry. And it turns out if you can kill a tank, you can also kill something a lot more squishier than a tank, especially if you get fed. So yes, it is a little bit of bias. This is a Let's Talk Jinx episode on a Jinx channel primarily, but at the same time also just strategically, it's like if you want to pick something slower but doesn't have a lot of appeal, Jinx really is good right now because no one's contesting her. No one's banning her, no one's really picking her, but she fills that spot Tristana and Caitlyn do. But she's also just open all the time, and pro players, except for like Jinx mains like Viper and Deft and stuff, aren't picking her, and it's baffling to me because like strategically, I like as unbiased as possible. It doesn't make sense to me. You want to pick Miss Fortune into like a Trundle pillar, and he'll just pillar you every time you try and go for the ult if he wasn't stunned himself. But even if he was stunned himself, your ult's not melting through a Trundle either. You might melt the back line, but you're not killing Trundle unless hopefully you killed the back line, and then you can all focus Trundle, who's also ulted your tanks. Now he's super tanky, and it's going to take forever to kill him. And now the death timers, unless it was late game, his team's coming back to life in about 10 seconds. You're not going to push and win the Nexus, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just weird watching Worlds this year. The only thing I've gotten right so far is that I said NA would be in the last place of all the groups, and I'm right about that so far. 0 and 18 the dream. Anyways, that's all for this video. What do you think if you've been watching Worlds? Do you think Jinx should be picked more often, especially with Tristana and Caitlyn banned? Especially over things like Miss Fortune, a friend of ours of the channel, Gamaflage, brought up that Xayah might be a good pick too, because Xayah doesn't have the DPS and AoE that Jinx has, but Xayah does have her own ultimate that makes her untargetable, so that could be an interesting pick to go to instead. But yes, that's my biased, but also surprisingly unbiased idea of why pro players should be picking Jinx and not Miss Fortune. But comment in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know which video will be next, because life can have a lot of kinks. So until this time, take care. ggGetJinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly.